Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the press conference of the State Council Information Office. Today, the Information Office has issued a white paper themed Jointly Build a Community with a Shared Future in Cyberspace. And we are holding today's press conference to give you a more detailed introduction to the main content of the white paper, with a focus on implementing Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics in the new era and the spirit of the 20th Party Congress. The white paper gave a detailed introduction of the achievements made by China on cyberspace development and governance since the 18th Party Congress. It includes steps taken by China to strengthen international cooperation, the vision, actions, and contributions from China in building a community of shared future in cyberspace, as well as calls from China, as well as proposals from China on creating such a community. The white paper is consisted of a preface, a main body, and a conclusion with a total word count of 24,000. The main body has 4 parts. First, building a community with a shared future in cyberspace is essential in the information age. Second, development and management of the Internet in China. Third, China's contribution to building a community with a shared future in cyberspace. And fourth, China's proposals on creating an even closer community with a shared future in cyberspace. The white paper will be issued in 8 languages, namely Chinese, English, French, Russian, German, Spanish, and Arab. It will be published by the People's Publishing House and the Foreign Language Press and will be available in the Xinhua bookstores nationwide. To help you with this understanding, to help you further understand this white paper, today we are glad to have with us Ms. Cao Shuming, Vice Minister of the Cyberspace Administration, Director General of International Cooperation Department, Ms. Qi Xiaoxia, Mr. Yang Shuzhen, Director General of the Policy Research Department, Ms. Sun Weiming, Director General of the Internet Security Coordination Department, Mr. Wang Song, Director General of the Information Development Department, as well as Mr. Chen Renzhe, Director General of the Internet Communication Department. They will take your questions. Now I will first give the floor to Vice Minister Cao Shuming for a brief introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, friends from the press, good morning. It gives me great pleasure to give you a brief introduction on the white paper Jointly Build a Community with a Shared Future in Cyberspace. Since the 18th Party Congress, the Party Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core has responded to the changes in information revolution with a priority on the Internet, its development, and its governance. Coordinated work has been carried out in promoting work related to cybersecurity and informatization, and historical achievements has made in this regard. In December 2015, President Xi Jinping attended and addressed the Second World Internet Conference. In his keynote speech, he put forth for the first time the important vision of building a community with a shared future in cyberspace. This vision showcased China's sincere wish of working with countries around the world to enhance cooperation on the development and governance of the Internet. I will give you a brief introduction on the white paper from the following 4 parts. First, building a community with a shared future in cyberspace is essential in the information age. Now we are seeing changes unseen in the past century. Industrial revolution and transformation have taken place. In the Internet domain, we are seeing issues including balanced development, incomplete rules, and the lack of a sound order. Cyberspace hegemonism has posed new challenges to the world, and governance on cyberspace calls for fairer, more reasonable, and more effective solutions. Global challenges and threats require the concerted efforts of all countries. President Xi Jinping has hence put forth the important vision of building a community with a shared future in cyberspace. He has put forth a number of major proposals and principles in this regard. For instance, the principles of respecting cyberspace security, safeguarding peace and security, promoting openness and cooperation, and building a sound order. These are the 4 principles. He has also put forth the vision of extensive consultation, joint contribution, and shared benefits in cyberspace governance, so as to build cyberspace into the community where we can jointly advance development, safeguard security, participate in governance, and share the benefits. Second, on the development and management of the Internet in China. The practices that China has taken in developing and governing the Internet has provided strong underpinning and safeguard for China's high-quality development, and the white paper has elaborated on that from the 7 following areas. First, a booming digital economy. Right now, the digital economy in China has a total volume of 45.5 trillion RMB, accounting for 39.8% of China's GDP. It has become a main economic driver for Chinese economy. Second, to make digital technologies better benefit the people. We have enabled the Internet to play an important role in education, in healthcare, and also in public alleviation and rural revitalization. Third, a legal system governing cyberspace has continued to be improved. A number of laws, including laws and regulations on cybersecurity, data security, and personal information protection, has been rolled out to ensure that the cyberspace is governed in accordance with law. Fourth, we are seeing more colorful content online. There are many positive messages online, including the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics in the new era, which has taken a deep root in people's hearts, as well as the core values of socialism. Fifth, the cyber environment has become clearer. We've carried out a special campaign to create more positive energy and a good online ecosystem. Six, we've continued to enhance the operation of Internet platforms. We've encouraged relevant businesses to carry out and better regulate existing mechanisms and institutions, to encourage fair competition among different Internet platforms and promote their orderly development. Seventh, to provide effective safeguards for cyberspace security. We've enhanced the top-level design and with a particular focus on the security of infrastructure related to key information. We've also stepped up efforts to protect personal information and combat online crimes and cyber terrorism. Third, China's contribution to building a community with a shared future in cyberspace. In recent years, China has continued to deepen international cooperation in this regard, and the white paper includes content on the following 4 areas. First, on digital and economic cooperation. We've promoted the building of a global information infrastructure, and together with APEC, G20, and BRICS countries, we've made positive contribution to global economic and digital development. In the area of cybersecurity cooperation, we've worked together with the international community to enhance the level of cooperation concerning data security and personal information protection. We have launched joint efforts against cybercrimes and cybersecurity terrorism. Together with 274 computer network emergency response teams from 81 countries and regions, we have built a CNCRT international cooperation partnership. On cyberspace governance, a number of bilateral and multilateral cooperation mechanisms have been set up so as to advance the reform and building of a global governance system on cybersecurity. We've also set up a World Internet Conference international organization. And just the day after tomorrow, on November the 9th, the 2022 World Internet Conference will open again in Wuzhen, and you're all warmly welcomed to take part in the conference. We've also used the Internet to carry out cooperation on poverty alleviation to further facilitate cultural mutual learning and exchanges so that the benefits of Internet development can benefit more countries and regions. Lastly, China's proposals on creating community with a shared future in cyberspace. The white paper elaborated China's proposals in this regard so as to better respect cyber sovereignty and protect peace, security, and stability in this regard. China will continue to act on a community with a shared future in cyberspace and work with all other countries to step up coordination and collaboration and build a cyberspace environment that is fairer, more reasonable, more open, inclusive, safe, stable, and more dynamic, so that the Internet can benefit more countries and peoples in the world. Now, my colleagues and I will take your questions. Thank you. Now the floor is open to questions. Please identify your media affiliation before asking questions. From CCTV News. The white paper mentioned that China has continued to deepen international cooperation in this regard and contributed China's fair share to building a community with a shared future in cyberspace. What will be the new features in international cooperation in this regard? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. As I mentioned just now, in recent years, under the guidance of building a community with a shared future in cyberspace, China has deepened international exchanges and cooperation in cyberspace and has made positive progress. And there are several features as follows. First, we follow a people-centric approach. China is the largest developing country with the largest number of Internet users. We have 1.05 billion Internet users, and we have always followed a people-centric development approach. And we hope that the development of the Internet will meet the expectations and needs of the people and follow the trend of the times in the information age. Second, we follow the principle of openness and cooperation. General Secretary Xi Jinping emphasized that openness is an important driving force for progress of human civilization and is a sure path for prosperity and development for the world. So, in recent years, we have followed the spirit of openness and cooperation, hold high the banner of multilateralism, and set up bilateral, regional, and international cooperation platforms to advance practical cooperation in cyberspace with all countries. And third, we follow the principle of mutual benefit and win-win. We resolutely oppose zero-sum game and work to make sure that the benefit of the development of the Internet will be shared by all countries. And China's cooperation with other countries can be seen in poverty reduction cooperation, e-commerce cooperation, and all these has deepened people-to-people connectivity. Fourth, we follow the principle of equal treatment. China is of the view that countries, despite their size, strength, and wealth, are entitled to the participation of international rules and orders setting. The cyberspace and its future should be in the hand of the people of all countries, and all should work together to create an enabling environment for development and cultivate new drivers for global development. We oppose bullying, hegemony, building walls, or decoupling, unilateralism, or maximum pressure. We hope that all sides will respect each other, seeking common ground, and on matters concerning us all, we should discuss and find a common solution. Fifth, we follow the principle of peace and security. We oppose seeking one's own security at the cost of others, and we oppose all forms of cyberspace arms race. We suppose combating cyber crimes and terrorism. We believe that we should seek peace and security through cooperation and common security. We should abandon Cold War mentality and seek dialogue and cooperation. And sixth, we should uphold equity and justice. In cyberspace, no country can realize effective governance on their own. We should encourage governments, international organizations, enterprises, and think tanks to work together to improve the dialogue mechanism in cyberspace to uphold the shared interests. Thank you. Phoenix TV. In April, the United States issued a declaration on the future of the Internet. So, what are the connections between the white paper and this declaration?
Thank you for your question. Many are paying attention to the declaration and the white paper. Let me invite Ms. Qi Xiaoxia from the International Cooperation Department. I'm happy to take your question. The white paper and the so-called declaration are different in essence. A certain country, as you mentioned, in April, initiated the Declaration for the Future of the Internet. It wanted to impose its standards onto others. It seeks to draw ideological lines and create small blocks, incite confrontation and division, and sabotage international rules in cyberspace. These acts have severely undermined the solidarity of the global family of the Internet and has severely undermined the peace and the stability and development of the global Internet. And in the white paper, as we've introduced, we put forth China's proposal on building an even closer community with a shared future in cyberspace. And what we call for are openness, cooperation, inclusiveness, and mutual learning. We believe that the cyberspace belongs to all mankind, and its future is up to all countries to decide. It is not up to one single country or a few to decide. On the international governance on cyberspace, we support the UN to play a main role, and we call on the international community to stick to the principles of extensive consultation, joint contribution, shared benefits, and stronger cooperation so that we can jointly study, research, and map out relevant laws on global governance. China stands ready to work with all countries to deepen cooperation, carry out reform and building of such a global governance system, and build an even closer community with a shared future in cyberspace. Thank you. Next question, please. I've taken note that in page 27 of the white paper, it says that China has actively contributed to industrial digitalization around the world and stand ready to work with the world to advance green transformation and digital transformation. What are China's measures in this regard? Thank you.
Thank you for your interest on the digital and green development. The report to the 20th National Party Congress mentioned that we need to accelerate the building of a cyber state and a digital state, and we should accelerate the transformation, the green transformation, and develop green and low-carbon industries, and form a green and low-carbon way of production and work. Currently, digital and green development are important topics and interconnected topics. On the one hand, the energy consumption of the digital industry is growing rapidly, so there is an urgent need for the green transformation in this area. On the other hand, the digital technologies has a growing role in green transformation in the traditional industries. It is projected that by 2030, the carbon emissions reduction will reach 12.1 billion tons, thanks to digital technologies. In recent years, China has implemented the Green and Digital Transformation Development Action Plan, and there are several tasks. First, we should advance the green and low-carbon development of the digital industry. Second, we should accelerate the digital technologies empowerment in traditional industries. And third, we should bring out the role of the green transformation in digital industries. So we have mapped out 18 priority tasks and measures, and thanks to the concerted efforts of all departments and localities, we have seen some progress. For example, the energy consumption in 5G base stations has reduced by 20% compared with the number in 2019, and the PUE in the large-scale data centers has reduced below 1.3. So many large companies has answered the call of the country and mapped out low-carbon development actions. Going forward, we will carry out pilot programs for the green and digital transformation and encourage regions with ripe conditions to carry out pilot programs. And second, we will spread those successful cases and experience to play an exemplary role. Third, we will deepen international cooperation in this area and advance exchanges and experience sharing at bilateral and multilateral level. Bloomberg. Since the 18th Party Congress, President Xi set out the vision of building a community with a shared future in cyberspace. So can you share with us the understanding in this area?
Thank you for your question. The community with a shared future on cyberspace put forth by President Xi Jinping has many layers, and I invite Director General Mr. Yang Shuzhen from the Policy Research Department to take your question. You raised a very important question, and I'm happy to take it. In December 2015, at the Second World Internet Conference held in Wuzhen, President Xi Jinping made a keynote speech, and it was during the speech that he put forth for the first time building a community with a shared future in cyberspace. And after that, he gave a number of profound interpretations of this community to further enrich it and give it a more profound impact. Today, building such a community has already become a consensus of the international community. From research and study, I feel that there are 4 sentences that can help sum up this vision. First, it is an important vision that keeps up with the changes of the times. Our world today is undergoing changes unseen in the past century. On the one hand, peace, development, cooperation, and mutual benefit are still the unstoppable historical trends. On the other hand, hegemonism, bullyism are still doing harm to the world. And our world has again come to a historical crossroads, and humanity faces unprecedented challenges. General Secretary Xi Jinping, with a keen understanding of the world, of the times, and of the history, has put forth the vision of building a community with a shared future for mankind. And building a community with a shared future in cyberspace is part and parcel of a community with a shared future for mankind. It is also an important part of Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics in the new era, and part of his important vision of building China into a country that is strong in cyberspace. His vision has provided a source of inspiration and action guide to respond to the challenges of the information age and to build a new home of all in the area of cyberspace. Second, it is a strategic goal that responds to the call of the times. Revolutionary changes are taking place in the information domain, and the Internet has made our world a global village where all of us are interconnected. With a view on the changes in the information era, President Xi Jinping has put forth a strategic goal of building cyberspace into a community where we can jointly advance development, safeguard security, participate in governance, and share the benefits. President Xi Jinping called on all of us to make sure that we all participate in the governance of the cyberspace and benefit from such a community. This has provided us with a strategic goal. Third, basic principles to help us address the issues of our times. The Internet has boosted human civilization. That said, it has also brought new challenges and threats to countries' sovereignty, security, and development interests. Hegemonism and power politics in cyberspace are manifesting themselves. Protectionism and unilateralism are on the rise. Cyber attacks and crimes have become increasingly severe. General Secretary Xi Jinping has called on us to be systematic in thinking and be issue-oriented in our approaches, and he has put forth 4 principles in enhancing global Internet and cyberspace governance, and that is respecting cyberspace sovereignty, protecting peace and stability, promoting openness and cooperation, and building a sound order. These have pointed the way forward for us. Fourth, it is China's proposal to enhance the well-being of all mankind. The Internet is a shared home of us all, and its future is up to all countries to explore together. With a view on enhancing the well-being of all, President Xi Jinping has put forth a 5-point proposal on building a community with a shared future in cyberspace, and that is to accelerate the building of global Internet infrastructure for greater connectivity, to build an online platform for cultural exchanges and mutual learning, to promote the innovative development of the digital economy for common prosperity, to maintain cybersecurity, to promote orderly development, to build a system of global governance in cyberspace to promote equity and justice. These proposals have provided us with the path to realize a community with a shared future in cyberspace, and will surely benefit more the Chinese people and the people of all countries. Next question, please.
Hi, Bloomberg News. I was wondering, has China finished what it set out to do with the overhaul and rectification of the Internet and online platforms, or is there still more work to be done? Thank you.
请翻译一下问题。
您好，彭博社记者提问：中国现在是否已完成了对互联网平台企业的规范和整顿？后续是否还会采取其他的举措？谢谢。
谢谢彭博社这位记者的提问。这个问题呢，我们请这个新化局的局长王松先生。
Thank you for your question. I will direct your question to Mr. Wang.
感谢您对互联网平台企业的关注。
Thank you for your interest on the Internet platform and companies. Encourage those companies and platforms to realize healthy, sustainable, and long-term development is an important task of us. So we have supervision over their behaviors in accordance with law. If there are law-breaking activities, we will carry out campaigns to deal with that. So the general goal is to promoting their development and regulating their behaviors all at the same time, to achieve their social and economic effectiveness all at the same time, to create a sound environment for the development of these companies. Thank you. The white paper mentioned that China's practice in the building of a community with a shared future in cyberspace has offered example in efforts in this area. So, does the release of the white paper a promotion of a Chinese model?
这个问题呢，由我来回答。
Thank you for the question.
世界各国的
Countries around the world are different in their national conditions, social system, and cultural background. We believe that all countries are entitled to choose a development path of the internet that fits their own realities. We do understand that it is the shared aspiration of people of all countries to get on board on this age of rapid digital development and to use the internet to achieve better development and better lives. This should be the direction where the companies, international organizations, internet businesses, and technicians, communities, NGOs, and the people should work together toward. China, throughout its own progress in developing and governing cyberspace, has contributed its own wisdom and proposals to the world. We have different civilizations in the world, and we do believe that all countries can find their own path. In China, we believe that we need to learn from the good practices of others and at the same time offer our good practices as an inspiration to others. We do believe in mutual learning, but no imposition of one's own will onto others. China respects the cyberspace sovereignty of others, and we respect others' rights to choose a cyberspace development path, governance model, public policy, as well as their right of equal participation in the global cyberspace governance. Next question, please. Kyoto News. I have two questions. First, in the 20th Party Congress, President Xi Jinping has said that we need to make China a country strong in cyberspace. What will be the concrete actions? Second, in recent years, China has stepped up building a stronger and safer cyberspace. Some foreign businesses are worried that their work in China may be restricted. So, what's China's response to such worries? First, we will have Mr. Yang Shuzhen to take your first question. And for your second one, we will have Ms. Qi Xiaoxia to take it. The 20th Party Congress has pointed the blueprint for the party's and the country's future development. In particular, it has pointed out that we need to keep up with the changes in the information era and has put forth new tasks and goals to be completed in cyberspace. We will fully implement the spirit of the party and continue to act on President Xi Jinping's instructions, and that is we need to make sure that the technologies, the content, the infrastructure, the talents, and relevant international discourse are strong in cyberspace so as to provide sound underpinning and safeguard to make China into a great modern socialist country. To be more specific, I would like to talk about the following 7 areas. First, we will strengthen internet content to better communicate mainstream public opinion. We will leverage the role of the internet, build an all-round media, make innovative approaches on the communication on major topics, so as to create more fine communication-related programs and make international discourse more effective, more timely, and more attractive, so that China's public opinion and voices will be better heard. Second, we need to complete the cyberspace governance system and build a sound internet ecosystem. On the basis of a basic national governance system for cyberspace, we are now working to make the cyberspace management more sound, effective, and orderly. We have carried out work to enhance law enforcement and awareness in cyberspace and get down to root causes to make sure that we will continue to make the internet environment clearer and to ensure that the internet is governed by a sound rule of law. Third, to contribute to Chinese modernization through building a stronger digital China. We will continue to fully leverage the role of digitalization in China, step up the building of a new generation of infrastructure projects, achieve better integrated development between the digital economy and the real economy, and build a cluster of digital industries that have global competitiveness. We will enhance work related to building digital governments, digital societies, digital rural areas, and digital and green transformation. We will also equip our citizens with relevant skills so that there will be new drivers promoting China's new development. Fourth, we will make breakthroughs in key information-related technologies so as to achieve self-reliance on high-level science and technology. We will make nationwide efforts to build stronger systems and programs related to science and technology, step up the building of incentives, and build more innovative industries and self-reliance capacity in this regard. Fifth, to further modernize our efforts in protecting cybersecurity and digital security. We will step up protection related to cybersecurity, data security, personal information protection, as well as the security of key information-related infrastructure. With these efforts, we will better protect China's cyberspace security and the interests of our people. Fifth, to build a community with a shared future in cyberspace to further contribute the building of a community with a shared future. We will deepen international cooperation on cyberspace governance, take a more active part in relevant global cyberspace governance, and enhance China's voice and our ability to set rules in this regard so that the internet can better benefit the world and the people. Fifth, we will culture more high-caliber talents on cybersecurity. We will create more A-level teams, engineers, and young talents so that we will have a team available that can help us to build China into a country that is strong in cyberspace. Thank you. On your second question, you mentioned that some foreign businesses in China worry about the restrictions they may face in doing business in China. And my answer to you is that there's no worry in this regard. The 20th Party Congress has mentioned that China will stay committed to the fundamental state policy of opening up to the outside world. During the 5th CIIE at the opening ceremony, which was held on November the 4th, President Xi Jinping mentioned that China will work with all countries and share the opportunities provided by China's big market, provide more opportunities in China's opening up, and provide more opportunities to other countries in international development. From all these, you see that China's door of opening up will only get wider. Data from relevant Chinese authorities show that foreign businesses in China, the number of such businesses are over 100 in China, and a lion's share of them are from Japan. So from this number, you see that these foreign businesses are very confident in China's business environment. The Chinese government has all along committed to build a global business environment that is governed by law, that is sound, and support the law-based operation and development of foreign businesses. We have always treated domestic and foreign businesses equally, and we will continue to do so. Thank you. Next question, please. My question is on international communication. In the 20th Party Congress, it mentioned the need to enhance the ability and effectiveness of international communication. What are the progress already made in this regard in cyberspace, and what are the measures to be taken to better tell China's stories and build a community with a shared future in cyberspace?
Thank you. This is a very good question. How to shape a reliable, admirable, and respectable China in the world. This is our goal. Thank you for your question. Since the 18th Party Congress, General Secretary Xi Jinping has made personal commitment and arrangement for international communication work, and he has expounded on a series of important theoretical and practical issues regarding international communication. This has charted the course for our work and offered fundamental guidance. We will faithfully implement the important instructions and deployment made by General Secretary Xi Jinping and the CPC Central Committee. We will work with relevant departments and localities, and we have made positive progress in this area. First, we've showcased the appealing of the Chinese path on the occasion of major events and time junctures. We've bring out the role of the cyberspace and innovate our narratives to strengthen the omni-media expression, interactive communication, to promote the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics in the new era in a multidimensional way, to help foreign readers and audience understand the theoretical power and the global significance of the latest outcome of adapting Marxism to Chinese context and the need of our times. Second, we have taken the opportunity of the 20th National Party Congress, the centenary of the CPC, Beijing Winter Olympics, and other major events, carry out a number of international communication activities to let the international community know more about China, about the Communist Party of China, and to showcase China's determination to pursue peaceful development and to make contribution to human civilization. Third, we are using more down-to-earth and appealing narratives in online communication that can be understood by other countries. And we've promoted a number of cyber classics that showcase China's values and aesthetic appreciation, and to demonstrate our fine culture. And fourth, we've launched a number of campaigns and projects such as Why Red Star Over China and New China, I Am in China, and in New Era, I Am in China. And we have set out platforms and channels for readers to understand more about China. And more foreign political dignitaries, experts, scholars, journalists, and overseas Chinese communities are sharing their experience with China and telling China's story and spreading the Chinese culture. And going forward, we will focus on the important deployment set out in the 20th Party Congress and bear in mind the priority tasks and enhance our capacity in international communication and enhance its effectiveness to better tell China's story, the CPC stories, and to spread China's voices far further and wider to demonstrate a multidimensional China. In upholding cybersecurity, what measures have been adopted and what are the experience that can be shared with other countries?
Thank you for your question. Cyberspace security is something that we all care deeply about, because without security on cyberspace, there's no sustainable development to talk about. And in this regard, we will have Ms. Sun Weiming to take your question. Thank you for the question, and thank you for your interest in cyberspace security. Since the 18th Party Congress, the party's CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, has made a number of important instructions regarding cyberspace security, and these have provided us with the way forward in doing our work. And in recent years, various departments and localities have implemented President Xi Jinping's important instructions on building China into a country that is strong in cyberspace. And our work has mainly focused on the following 5 areas. First, a structure of regulations and laws related to cybersecurity has been set up. We've issued a number of relevant laws and regulations, including the cybersecurity law, data security law, and personal information protection law. A number of policy documents, including measures for cybersecurity review and measures for the security assessment of cloud services, have been introduced. And there are other 300 more national standards that have been formulated, and together they form the basic structure of policies and regulations. Second, a more complete system on cybersecurity. We've issued a national emergency response to cybersecurity incidents. We've set up an emergency coordination and notification working mechanism, which help us to timely collect information, monitor and issue pre-warning, notify risks, and respond to emergencies promptly. Third, our ability to protect key infrastructure has further been enhanced. We've also introduced relevant regulations, such as the regulation on the protection of the security of key infrastructure-related information. Under the coordination of the Cyberspace Administration and with the work of relevant departments, key information-related infrastructure has continued to be strengthened, and our ability to protect such infrastructure further enhanced. Fourth, the interconnected development of cybersecurity-related awareness-raising technology and industries. We've set up level A disciplines and demonstration zones in this regard. Now, over 60 universities in China have set up departments related to cybersecurity, and every year the graduates in this regard exceeds 20,000. We've also created 5 demonstration zones on the cybersecurity-related disciplines. Fifth, we have enhanced awareness raising in this regard. For 9 consecutive years, we've carried out a week-long campaign which has institutionalized our awareness-raising campaign on cybersecurity. We've overhauled illegal industries, including the secret snaps using illegal cameras, and we've hit out hard against illegal activities such as the illegal selling of personal information, the violation of privacy, and telecommunications fraud. Nationwide, we are implementing the 20th Party Congress, and the Party Congress has pointed the way forward for our work, and going forward, we will continue to work with all countries to build a community with a shared future in cyberspace. Thank you. Next question, please. The white paper mentioned for many times that Chinese businesses have carried out active efforts to explore global markets on e-commerce platforms and digital infrastructure, etc. However, the development of Chinese businesses, such as Huawei, has faced limitations in many countries. What's your comments?
Thank you for your question. Actually, the rapid development of cyberspace has attributed to globalization, but recently we've seen the rising of deglobalization. So I don't think this is the right way of doing things, and I will ask Ms. Qi to answer your question. Actually, this is a question that is on the mind of many parties, and it is a question that deserves attention. In recent years, the Chinese companies have actively engaged in the international market, in international R&D cooperation, which has offered a large number of secure, reliable, quality yet inexpensive products and services to the world. And this has offered a large number of job opportunities to many countries and regions. Actually, the reason for the restrictions facing by Huawei and some other Chinese companies overseas are very clear. Some individual country has taken national security as a pretext to abuse export control, to suppress the Chinese companies and undermine their legitimate rights and interests, which has disrupted the stability of the global industrial and supply chains. The Chinese company opposes politicization of technological issues and opposes the abuse of national power and to use all means to suppress and contain other countries' companies in violation of the principles of market economies and international trade rules. In the current context, facing multiple risks and challenges, it is all the more important for the international community to work together rather than divide. We need to travel like passengers in the same boat, and cooperation and win-win is the only viable path forward. The white paper mentioned that the International Organization on World Internet Conference has been established in July in Beijing, and you've mentioned that the Wuzhen Summit will be held on 9th November. So what are the expectations of China on the International Organization of the World Internet Conference? As we know that 8 sessions of the Wuzhen Summit has been held, and in July, the international organization has been inaugurated. And at the launching ceremony, President Xi Jinping sent a congratulatory message. He mentioned that the establishment of the international organization follows the trend of the times in the information age, is an important measure to deepen international exchange and cooperation in cyberspace. It is hoped that the World Internet Conference will stick to top-level design and quality and high-level development to contribute wisdom and strength to practical cooperation and to global cyberspace development. The World Internet Conference is an open platform. China is ready to work with the international community to build it well. We have the following expectations for the development of the international organization. First, on promoting common understanding and consensus. Focusing on the new challenges and problems facing cyberspace nowadays, we should stick to openness and inclusiveness to encourage the international community to resolve differences and build consensus. Second, on the development of digital economy, we should better play the role of digital economy in socio-economic development. And we hope that the digital economy will be an important source driving digital transformation and empowerment globally. And third, on digital technology innovation, we need to strengthen the coordination and innovation of the international community to cultivate more outcomes of innovation, to advance technological progress for mankind. And fourth, on cultural exchanges, we should encourage cooperation on cyberspace and strengthen cyberculture development and build mutual learning, promote mutual learning, and enhance public digital literacy to work for the healthy development of the cybercultural industry. Fifth, on rules making, we should advance the global internet governance process and encourage companies research institutes and universities to have discussions on rules making and standard setting. Sixth, on dialogue and cooperation, we should set up more and better platforms for exchanges among governments, international organizations, multinational companies, and technical communities. This is the end of today's press conference. Thank you all for coming.